All right, now that we've explored the first two questions, who am I and what do I want, we can start to make it happen by asking, what is the first step? What is a step that you can take towards your best life? How can you start to explore careers that are in line with your values, passions, and purpose? A super effective and underutilized first step is informational interviews. Basically, an informational interview is a meeting that you set up with someone to gain information about his or her career. It's a chance to do research by speaking to someone currently working what might be your dream job. Not only will you gain confidence, make connections, and learn if a career is right for you, but you'll also build self-knowledge. You'll clarify values and potentially receive some important advice. And you really have nothing to lose. In this lesson, you're going to develop a list of careers you find interesting, perhaps even your dream jobs, and then research people in your community who currently hold these positions. You could also include in your list the names of people you admire or look up to, people that you think would be interesting to connect with and learn from. It doesn't matter whether you know them or not. Once you have your list, you're going to reach out and request an informational interview. I was quite shy growing up. I always felt scared to reach out to strangers to ask for advice. I thought, they don't want to hear from me. What would I even say? In fact, I remember when I was in school, I had a similar assignment, and I was so terrified to contact someone I didn't know that I just made it up. I got a decent grade, but as you can imagine, I didn't learn anything. During my 52 jobs in 52 weeks, I sat down with my employers each week and did an informational interview. Sure, it was a bit intimidating at first, but once I got over my fear, I realized that the majority of people, they're really excited to share their story and give insights into their journey. People like to talk about themselves. It gives them an opportunity to reflect, share hard-earned lessons, and give advice they wish someone had told them. Think about it this way. If you could speak to yourself 5 or 10 years ago, knowing what you do now, you'd likely give some great advice. What to do, what not to do, or what you'd do differently. And so, if you can find someone who has your dream job, is living your ideal life, or perhaps shares the same values or passion, why wouldn't you ask them how they got there? They've already walked further down the path. You could ask, hey, what do you see down there? Any obstacles I should look out for? You could ask about the mistakes they made, what worked, what didn't, what they would have done differently, what advice they have. You could learn to make better decisions for yourself and get an idea if it's the right path for you. You don't have to walk alone. People want and are willing to help you, but it requires that you have the courage to ask. Perhaps you'll find someone whose advice you really value, someone who shares your outlook on life but has a little more wisdom and years. In which case, you might want to consider asking that person to be one of your mentors. Mentors are different than informational interviews in that you'd establish an ongoing relationship with the person. Someone that you trust and admire, someone whose extended guidance would prove valuable. And to find intelligent, experienced older people who aren't your parents that you can turn to when you're seeking direction can really help bring you clarity and support you in achieving your goals. As Mary Osborne said, we stand on the shoulders of those who came before us. It's their efforts and their successes form the foundation upon which we can build. Think about it. All great inventions of today are built on the discoveries of yesterday. This course is not about gathering information so that you can have a detailed life plan. You do not need to know what you're doing for the rest of your life. Your plans will change as you and your circumstances change. As the saying goes, a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Well, an informational interview is one tool to help you decide which direction to take that first step. And a mentor is someone you can turn to for advice on your journey. And remember, it's not so much the direction you go as the destination will likely change along the way, but that you have the courage to take the first step. This is your life. Make it spectacular.